So first we'll start with our exercise. Okay. So what is our first question? Okay. So our first question is, so we have some list. We need to segregate into two. So we'll say, hope my screen is visible to everyone, right? So this is my initial. I have declarations. I declared a new list, new empty list. Now I need to segregate, right? So say for num in range. We all know that range. So you can say either or under or not one. That's up to you. And we supposed to keep. We need to segregate if it is odd or even. So we all know that formula. If num modulo of 2 means where to append. If number modulo 2 where to append. Odd or even.
Even.
Even how? If number modulo 2 is it even or odd?
Odd.
It's odd.
How?
It is false, right?
Yes. No, it is true. If num modulo 2, if it is true, num modulus are true. When it will be true? It will be odd number, right? So you will get some 1, 2, 1, 3 kind of. If it is 0, it will be false, right? So that's why I'm not considered equal to 0. If it is 0, then it is even.
It's a
If I don't,
reminder, right? When you use
yes,
modulo, it is the reminder,
yes,
right?
yes, correct. Yeah, this will give you a reminder. So if reminder is 1 means it will be false. Sorry, it will be true. If reminder is 1 means it is true. So if it is true, then you need to keep it inside odd. Say odd. Otherwise say even. That's it. Got it?
Right.
Well, so if I say number equal to true means, so when it is even number, I'm saying whether it is 0, then you have to say even. Here it should be odd. Got it? So it's up to you. Logic is up to you. So depends upon your logic. We need to either change either or, whether it is even or odd. That's it. Okay. So let's move on to our second exercise. So this is what Karthi tried. So what you said, Karthi? So is it not working?
Yes, sir.
What do you got?
Simply
Huh? So
clock
what is
pin, sir.
actually written?
Nothing, sir.
Nothing. No answer. Counter. What are you saying? Counter equal to. Okay. So just explain me what you tried, what it is. Okay. So once I finished. Counter plus or equal. Explain me your code.
Sir, when counter is true, it
Okay.
will begin the operation, sir.
Okay. Yeah. It will start.
First time,
Yeah. Okay.
uh, first time it will get a input from
So why we need
user, sir.
STR? So you said
Yes,
STR of input. Why we
yes,
need
sir.
this? Why we need
Uh,
this? No, no. I'm asking why we need STR.
because integer is not iterable, sir.
But input will always written in a string format, right?
Yes, sir.
Then do we need this? You all know input will return always in a string format in Python 3, not in Python 2. Okay, maybe you might use Python 2, but if it is Python 2, you have to use raw input, not input. Okay,
Oh,
in
yes,
Python
okay.
3, we don't need this. It is already string format only. Okay,
Okay, sir.
okay, and then
Then
so what you are
for
saying?
loop
This what
from
is
1000 to
the range of 1,000 numbers? So what? It's actually the 10,000 numbers. Why?
sir, for four digit numbers, sir, from 1000 to 999
Okay. No. So,
for the die.
so how many time loop will occur? If we say like if we set like this, how many time loop will occur? And I will appreciate your naming. So this is good using num kind of. Okay. And how many time loop will occur?
I think 1000 from 1000 to
Double nine, double nine.
yes,
Yeah.
sir.
It will take around double nine. Sorry, 8,000 some 8,000 times around 8,000 to 9,000 times.
Yes,
Exactly 8,998 times the loop will occur,
yes.
but it is not required, right?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, I will correct this. Okay, so what you written, the counter was correct, while counter means we supposed to proceed. So I said in a cowbell program we need to utilize all the three cases. So can you someone mute yourself? Okay, good. So I said you have to utilize both a while loop, for loop, and if loop. Let's start out. So where we need to use a while loop. Okay, so where we need a while loop. So just assume I said user supposed to predict that random number. Okay, so at that case we need some infinite loop, because we never know how many times user will take time to predict, right? So that case we supposed to use while loop. So this is the case. Okay, so here we start with while loop because we never know how many times user will going to predict. Okay, and next time we need to get user input. Enter your answer or something, or input anything, you can say that. And then so here we don't need to say range of 1,000 to double nine double nine. Okay, so in next time what we need to say, uh, it is if it is integer, we can able to compare exact number, not based on its position like an index, because you all know integer is a fixed. So if it is 1,000, and if user say 1,000, both are not equal, right? You won't be able to say. But if it is integer, we can able to proceed like this only. But so we have to keep it as a string, and if it is string, we can check based on its position. And you all know the total, how many positions are there, how many positions we supposed to check for each numbers, both LHS and RHS. How many positions are there?
4.
Four position, right? So 0, 1, 2, 3. So it's a four position. So the range should be so your for loop should be four time for each user input. So when user tried 1 2 3 4, we need to check 1 2 3 4 four times. Got it? So there we need for loop. So how many time loop supposed to occur? The prediction loop, the comparison exactly. So how many times? Is it should be 1,000 to double nine double nine or a four?
4, sir.
It should be four times. Okay, and then in num, So here you will get error. So previously you said num of 0, right? You all know integer is not iterable. So when you say like that, this will throw an error. Got it? So what you have to say, I said uh, keep some random number. So say for example your rand is 51 something, 5159, okay, uh, something, okay. And if it is integer, it is not, it won't be, it is not possible to it is not possible to compare. So I need to convert it into string. Okay, converted my random number into string. Now it is possible to compare, right? So here what I'm going to do, I'm checking whether uh, u of input, user input of 0th position or anything, whether it is equal to random of 0. Okay, if it is exact match, then you can say cow. If it is partial match, if it is there in rand, then you have to say bull. Okay, then if it is not, leave it as it is. So for that we don't need else statement, we don't need else, because if it is as it is, just leave it as it is. Okay, and but here the problem is you said u input of I, u input is string. Got it? It is string, and it will raise an error, type error. String object is, a string object does not support item assignment because string is immutable. Got it, Karthik?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, string is immutable. So what we have to do, we need to convert it into list. Okay, we're supposed to convert this into list. Okay, then it will look like so. So this input can allow us to do iteration as well modification. Okay, now we can able to modify now. So we can do that count. If count is 4, then say count and change counter into 0, the loop will be terminated, or otherwise increase it. So it's up to you. And finally we will say user took, it is done, times that is counter. Okay, that's it. Let's try.
That UNP, it should be one I or it should be num.
UNP, you have to
UNP.
keep some numbers. If you say something else, what happened? You won't, still it will works, but it will always return. So it will keeps running on. Is it not a match? Okay,
We have not defined I, no.
where?
Will it?
Yes, exactly. So that is my mistake. So what happened? So now what happened? So this is stops here and is seeking for some inputs. Once we give some input, what happened? It will move inside, and here it will raise error. What will be the error? Exactly. You say the time. Yeah. Tell me the error.
Name error.
Name error. Name I is not defined. So let me try something. So it should raise name error. So it is name error. Yeah. Okay. Now we're supposed to change everything with the number. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, it is not. Next, I'm trying. Oh, you have to say. It will be good if you print, so user will know what it is. Okay. Now when I wrote a correct answer, it says this. But okay. Now I never know what happened behind. So now I have print actually. Let's try. So my input is 1, 2, 3, 4. Says, okay, I'm supposed to keep it outside. Now 1, 2, 3, 4. No, it is not a match. I'm going to say 5, 6, 7, 8. So 5 is not a match, right? 6 is a match, but it is mislocated. And 7 is a match, exact match, and 8 is mislocated. So I'm changing 8th position from anywhere from 4th to 1st. I'm saying 5, and you all know 5. We need to ignore 5 this time, and 6 should be replaced, right? So instead that I'm saying 8, 9, 7 is a match, and 6 I'm going to keep it in the last. Yeah, it's correct. Got it? Now let's try with a random number, the exact random number. So there is a built-in function called random. So built-in module called random. I'm going to use random dot randint. Okay, we need 4-digit number, right? So just say 1000 to double. Okay, so in this case, so if it is a range, this will ignore a double line, right? But in random, this will give you both starting and end point. This is what they meant in document. I'll show you in document. They said both are included, including both the endpoints. Okay, so double line also included, but in case of range, it is not included. So number. Now what happened? So in this case, so we never know the number. We supposed to predict ourselves. Got it? So you try. Anybody? Who going to try? So we did this, and anyone? Karthi, just try.
Sir?
Yeah, try பண்ணுங்க. சொல்லுங்க ஒரு நம்பர் சொல்லுங்க, ட்ரை பண்ணலாம். Predict something.
Okay. 5, 6, 7, 8.
5, 6, 7, 8. It says 5, 6, 7 bull. Then what I wanted to say.
Okay, sir.
Now, next try.
4, 8,
4, 8,
2, 1.
2, 1. So here you know 4, we never use 4, 2, 1. We never use that. But 8 was repeat. So 8 was there. 8 was reside somewhere else. So he's actually relocating it. What happened? 4, 8, 2 bull and 1. Then
1 is not there.
1 is
8,
not
4, 2. 8, 4, 2.
8, 4, 2. No, 2 is bull, right? You need to replace the location. So it is already you say you tried in
Right,
third
sir.
position. Yeah.
Okay.
8, 4.
8, 4, 9, 2.
9, 2. So 8 is a match, and 4 and 2 we need to replace, and 9 is not a match.
Then 8, 2.
8, 2.
0.
0.
And then 4.
4. Cow. 0 is not a match, and 4. We need to replace 4. So if it is not, that number might be repeated. So the 3 number might be repeated. Okay. So then, what is the try?
8, 2.
8, 2.
And then
3.
8, 2. You have used 4 in first place, it says bull. 4 in second place, it says bull. 4 in fourth place, it says bull. Then what is the remaining?
Then 4.
4.
The last one is
It should be between 3. 8 to 4. The last one will be either 8, either 2 or 4. In case.
I don't know, sir.
Yeah, just try. It is reside between these three numbers because it is repeated actually. Because it is not present in any of the other numbers, so it should be between three numbers. Yeah. Just say one number, man. Any number. So we are not. I'm not going to accuse you.
2.
It is two. It is bull again. So 8 to 2. Again 8. It is bull. So 8 to 4, 4. That's that. No, it is not. Try 2, 8, 4. What we missed then? We have tried 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2. We never tried 3.
I said 3, sir.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, it took 8 times. You missed a 3, man. Got it?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes,
got
sir.
your
Sorry, sir.
solution? Yeah. Is it fine? How about this? So are you clear with this program? So this is a better example for while, for, and if. Do you understand, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So any doubts? Anyone? How was Shivaram? Are you? Is it fine?
No, I have to brush up.
Okay.
It's it's still going above my head now.
Oh, do you have any doubts? So
No, I don't. No. If I understood, then I would have had doubts.
okay.
Since I
Then
don't.
so then if
So
you don't understand, I will recall once again. If you want.
no. It is my mistake. It's not that you have not explained. You have explained it to me. I have to brush up.
Okay. So I will explain the code once again. Random is a package. Okay, it's a built-in package. This will help you to generate a random
Mohideen,
number. Yeah.
just start from the question. Actually, I forgot the question also.
Okay. So the question is that there is a range random number. Okay, the system will generate a random number. So it's just as if this is a game. Okay. So you're supposed to predict a number. So what it is actually there. Okay. So the first thing is that say for example there is a random number called 5158. You need to predict the number. Okay. And in that case, the number the first condition is the number was a 4-digit number. Okay, so if your prediction is 1, 2, 3, 4, and my range of number is 5158. Okay, so one is a match, one is not a match. So we have to compare based on this position. So 1, 5 is not a match. 2, 1 is not a match. 3, 5 is not a match, and 4, 8 is not a match. But one was reside somewhere else, right? So if it is not an exact match, but it was residing somewhere else, it's actually a position mismatch means you need to say bull. So what user will do user will predict in next prediction, user will change its position. Okay, if it is exact match, user will keep it as it is. Okay, so this is the condition. If it is an exact match, say cow. If it is located somewhere else, just say bull. And if it is not a match, leave it as it is, so user won't repeat the number once again. Okay, and finally user will predict the number. So this is a prediction game, that's it. So this will actually generate a random number. I will print. So what is actually generated? So it is actually 7910. I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, 4. So one is a match but was located somewhere. 2, 3, 4 is not a match, right? So it says bull. 2, 3, 4 it's not a match. I'm going to say 5, 1, 6, 7. Again, one is not a match. It is mislocated. I need to. I should not say 5. 6. I should not say 6. I'm going to say 8, 9. I will replace 1. Okay, so I will use the 1 in next position. And you all know 7 was reside somewhere else, so I will replace 8 and 7. Now 7 and 1 is a match. So remaining, I have tried 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and remaining is 0. So I'm going to try 7 and 1, 0. Got it? Now you understand, Piyush, the question?
Yeah, little bit. I also need to do it.
Yeah. Okay. So in the program, so I initially set counter because if it is positive, then only it will be proceed further. So the loop will be started, right? So that's why I'm saying counter is 1. And then if it is true, then it's move on. Now inside a while, because I said user is supposed to predict a number of time. So we need some infinite loop. So I've started infinite loop. Inside, I'm getting user input using input. So we all know input will return as a string format, right? But if it is string format, we won't be able to replace a number with cow or number with bull. Got it? That's why I'm converting it into list. So when users say 1, 2, 3, 4, it will be replaced with, if users say 1, 2, 3, 4, it will be replaced with like this.
List of 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
It will look like this. So this will actually look like this. Okay. So then it is possible for a modification. So the modification is possible because this is mutable. You actually converted immutable into mutable. So in exact positioning. Okay. With the exact position. So here what I'm doing, I'm saying range of 4. The reason is we have 4-digit number. We need 4 times. We need to check 4 times, right? First time this position, second time this position, third this position, fourth this position. We need to check 4 times. That's why I'm creating a for loop with 4 times. So this is finite loop with 4 times. So if it is a range of 4, the range will be happen between 0 to 3. 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay. So each time in num you will get 0, 1, 2, 3. So we can use num as a position. So 0, 0 you will get 1. In range of number in 0th position you will get 7. So first time you have to say exact match, whether it is exact match. If it is exact, just replace cow. You should not say, you should not start with bull and cow, because when you say bull, it is a partial match, right? So if it is exact, I'm saying if it is exact match, we need to say cow. If it is not exact match, we need to say bull. That's it. Otherwise, leave it as it is. Got it? And once your list contains, so outside a loop, okay, these comparisons should be inside a loop. Once the 4 times the loop was completed, then outside the loop you have to check whether that output contains a 4 cows. If it is 4, then convert your counter with 0. Then the loop will be terminated. So user never predict after that. Otherwise, you need to increase the counter. This is purely optional. This will help you to find how many times user tried. That's it. This is for a prediction. That's it. How many times user took take time to solve the problem. That's it. Okay, this is a counter. If you want, you can. Otherwise, leave it as it is. So still the loop will occur without this. Okay,
Can you
what
please
happens?
explain the if statement and the else? I have understood the top 5 lines. I have understood the last 4 lines or 5 lines.
You
It
want
is
this?
the yes,
Yeah.
please.
Okay, so inside a for loop, okay, we all supposed to check each and every number based on its position, right? So first time range, so there is a no relation between this for loop and this number. Okay, this for loop will give you a range of number between 0 to 3. That's it. So I'm going to use that 0 to 3 as a position, as an index. Got it? First time this will give you 0. Okay, I'm checking u of input 0. The first time it says num is 0, right? U of input is user input, that is 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so first time it takes 1, and in a random of 0 is I've converted a random number into string. So that using index is possible because I'm converted into string. Now random of 0 is what? 7. So 1 equal to 7 is false. Here what happened? 1 equal to 7 is false, right? If it is false, then it move on to elif. Now what happened? I'm checking 1. U of input is 1. Okay, that is 1 in rand. In rand means partial comparison in 7. So here how it is actually checking? First time 1 in 7910. Here I'm checking. Now this is true because one is residing somewhere else, but it is not exact match. If it is exact match, replace cow. If it is partial match, just say UNP of 1. UINP of num is equal to bull, that is UNP of 0. So the 0 will be replaced. Now it will look like this, bull 2 3 4. Your list will look like this. So your list will look like this first time. In second time, we are going to check second position. So you all know second is not a match, third is not a match, fourth is not a match. So it will be leave it as it is. So first time we'll get bull 2 3 4. So in second try, user say 5 1 6 7, right? So 5 is not a match. You will say as it is. One was reside somewhere else. So you are saying bull again. 6 is not a match and 7 is a match. Got it? So in second time, it will be look like this: 5 bull 6 bull. Got it? So finally, you got a solution. Now you understand?
Yeah. Do you have kind of a debug kind of a thing or something where you can see that it's like stepwise? Can you go in and check exactly that what is stored in every?
Okay, you have to write a print. That's it. Just say print. That's why we're using print. Just for a debug purpose, we're using print. Okay. So instead, so for each and every time, if you want print num, just print your num. Okay. And for each for loop, print okay. So this will give you what actually happens in for each time. Okay. I'm going to say 1 2 3 4. Just say in 0th position. Oh, I kept it in elif. Okay. So for each for loop, this will print what is actually written. I'm going to predict 1 2 3 4. Okay. In my first try, in 0th position. So 1 is exact match. So it is replaced cow. So 2 3 4 was not never tried. In second try, that is first position, 2 was a match. So it is cow 3 4. So in I'm talking about first prediction 4 time loops. Okay, this is first prediction 4 time loops. This is 0 first time loop. This is second time loop. This is third time loop. This is fourth time loop. So in fourth time loop, cow is match and 4 is not a match. So I'm going to say 1 2 3 is a match. Instead of say 4, I'm saying 5. Now in this 4 time, again cow is match. 5 is not a match. I'm going to say again 5 4 3 6. Again it's not a match. Again 1 2 3 7. So we know that the one of the number was repeated. So I'm going to try 1 2 3 1. It is a bull, and 1 1 2 3 2. It's a match. Understand? Just say print. You have easily debug. You can debug. Got it? So it is there in that Google Drive as well. You just take it and practice. So shall we move on? In exercise. Shall I? So do you have any doubts, or do you want me to repeat once again? Is it fine? Hello. Hello.
Yeah, I think we need a practice more.
Okay. Yeah. So now we are going to talk about what is break, continue, and pass. Okay. So what is break, continue, and pass? So all these three are reserved keywords. We are going to talk about what is break, continue, and pass. Okay. So what is break, continue, and pass? Let's start with pass. Pass is a reserved keyword. Okay. Where we're using pass. So I said, when you're writing some if condition, once you say colon, next line should be indent. You need to keep some space and you need to start writing. Now you are in a development and you have not started anything yet. Okay, at that time, so what happened, you need to keep your program as it is. So someone from a second shift going to start to execute your program. What happened if you keep it as it is? What happened if you keep it as it is? So you never have anything to write, but if you keep it as it is, what will happen?
Syntax error.
Syntax error. How syntax error? How syntax error?
Because we are not completing that loop.
Syntax
Indentation
error,
error.
indentation error, syntax error up to this line. This line is valid, right? Then only we can able to proceed further. This is valid. In next line only we have an error because we need to keep some indent. We need to start writing your code. We have not kept any indent, so it will raise indentation error. Syntax error will occur if you miss something. Now it will occur syntax error. If syntactically it is valid, but next line we don't have anything, then it is says indentation error. Okay, so that case you don't have anything to write, but still you need to keep it as it is. Just say pass. Okay, so pass is a null operation. It is a reserved keyword actually. So it is a null operation. You won't do anything. It is a null operation and it will be help you to fulfill code syntactically. So no code need to be executed, but syntactically we need to fulfill. There we're using pass. That's it. Understand? So it is a null operation. If you say print 1, pass won't make any changes. You will get both 1 and 2. Pass doesn't make any changes. It is just for a syntactical fulfill your code. So your code never raise any error. That's why using a pass. Pass is a null operation. This will help you to fulfill your code syntactically. That's it. Simple. Got it? So where are we using a pass? Whenever you're saying colon or a statement like if statement, for loop, while loop, function, class, etc. When you say function, if you don't say anything, indentation error. Just say pass. Got it? Whenever you're saying colon, so if you don't have anything to write, just say pass. That's it. Understand what is pass?
Yeah.
Yeah. So next move on to break and continue. So break and continue, what it is actually going to do. Okay. So break and continue is both are reserved keyword. We supposed to use it inside a loop, not outside. Okay. So both are purely dedicatedly, purely created for a loop. Okay. We won't able to use it outside. Say break, it will say syntax error. Break is outside the loop. Break is outside loop. So we have to keep it inside the loop. Let's say what is break and continue going to do. Okay, so just assume there is an opening, so people came for an interview. There is actually 2 positions. Okay, so each person eligible to attend 2 interview at the same time. So one got placed, then he is not, so you should not allow them to attend the second one, because you need to keep you need to avoid that unwanted time, because he is already got selected and you need to keep space for someone else, right? So if you have 5 peoples, and you have checking if it is match. If it is a match, okay, yes it is. If you don't say anything, what happened in next condition? So in this case, what will happen? Any guess? So what this loop going to do? I'm iterating my list. Okay. What it will print? Anyone? Try. Just try.
Two. Yes and two.
For just try from beginning. For num in A, first time it will be 1. So just do read line by line and answer me. Please, just try. No one going to mistake anyone.
Yeah, yes, checking one.
Is it yes? Will it print yes or not? Is it a match?
No, no. First time it won't print.
Okay.
Only checking one will print.
Checking one.
Second time it will print yes as well as checking two.
Okay. And then followed by
Followed by checking three, checking four, checking five.
exactly. That's it. Okay. So here, just relate with my example. So this is there are 5 people came for an interview. Okay. So number 2 got selected. So first time one coming and he's not selected and he moves on for next board next next available interview. Okay. And second people came and he's got selected, but still he's attending the second one. Got it? We want to avoid this. How to avoid this? That is my question. Okay. So the second person got selected, so say print, but still he got a chance to attend the second one. But if he got selected in this position as well, what happened? So the 2 position was filled with the same person. So it is not possible, right? So we need to avoid this case. How to do? You say if num. Once you say print yes, just say continue. And proceed checking. Now what will happen once it will first time it will print checking 1. In second time it will print yes. Okay, but the program the iteration will be terminated here itself because you see continue. The loop will be moved on to next loop. The iteration will be stopped and it will be moved on to next iteration. So it will print checking 2 won't print. So it's moved on to third, checking 3, checking 4, checking 5. So this will never print because your program was that the current iteration was stopped here itself. That is continue going to do. Understand? Once it got selected, it won't allow you to execute the remaining program. So once it is fulfilled, once your condition fulfilled and when you say continue, it will never allow you to execute the further lines. It will be redirect your iteration into next iteration. That is what continue. Once condition is satisfied and once you say continue, the loop will be terminated. The current iteration will be terminated. Okay, the current iteration will be terminated and it will be moved on to next iteration. That is continue going to do. Understand? What is continue?
Yes.
What if I put a colon after print S?
Colon is not a valid syntax, right? You say syntax error. It's for statement, conditional statement for looping statement only we have. Print is a function. You mean colon here? You will see syntax error. Because print is a function. It has some certain syntax, so it is not possible. Okay. Understand?
Yes, thank you.
Then we'll move on to break. What is break going to do? Just assume the similar example. You have 5 people came for an interview. Okay. I'm going to say if number 2 is a match, print. Oh, sorry. Instead of break, I'm saying continue. So continue, I'm saying break. Say print checking. Okay. Now what will happen? So once you say, so just assume the similar one. The 5 people came for an interview and you have only one question. The first people came and he didn't got selected. Second people came, he got selected, and we don't need to evaluate the rest of the peoples, right? So the remaining loop will never repeated and never executed. The loop will be terminated at second position. So when the condition is satisfied, the loop will be terminated. So break means to terminate the complete loop, but continue will terminate the current iteration. There is a difference. Continue will stop your current execute or current iteration, but break will stop your complete loop. Where you are in. So the loop will be stopped where you are in actually. So what happened? This will print checking 1. Next time it will be yes. That's it. There is a difference. Here it is. Checking yes. And second checking is won't work. It's move on to third, checking 3, checking 4, checking 5. But when it is in case of break, checking 1, yes, that's it. The loop was terminated. The complete loop was terminated. This is where we're using break. Okay. So in our program, which we tried, so instead of saying counter is equal to 0, we can say break. We can say break. Okay. When once it is a match, the loop will be terminated. That's it. The loop will be terminated. Okay. So in when you're using break, what happened that the counter also, the counter value will be keep as it is. The value will never change. But when you replace the value, what happened? The counter will be changed, right? So to avoid this case, we can use break. Understand? So break is a reserved keyword to terminate the complete loop, but continue is a reserved keyword which will stop your current iteration. You will never allow you to proceed further. If you say continue, else will never work. That is the difference. Understand what is the difference between break and continue? Any doubts in this? Are you clear?
Yeah.
Okay. So shall we move on to next topic? Okay.
Maybe
Shall we
I
move on?
think we need some time to check.
So it is a basic stuff. It's a break and continue is a reserved keyword. What happened? Break continue will stop your current iteration, but break will terminate your complete loop. That is the difference. Just practice yourself so you have an answer. Okay. So from tomorrow in end of the session, we will start function. So it will be good for you to practice. Okay. We'll talk about function tomorrow. And in meanwhile, we have the comprehension topic is there and iteration is there. We'll talk about what it is. Okay. So let's move on to comprehension. Okay. So what they said in comprehension. Just read out.
Comprehensions or constructs that allow sequence to be built from other sequences.
Thank you so much. So comprehension going to build a sequence from some other sequence. That means I gave an exercise yesterday. I have asked you to extract a range of odd number out of a range of number, right? So range of number is a sequence. I asked you to build another sequence called odd number, even number. That is called comprehension. Understand? Got it? But here the syntax will varies. So what you tried yesterday? So that yesterday program was something this one. So this is what you tried yesterday, right? This is what you tried yesterday. So you need to you have a sequence, a range of number is a sequence. You need to build another sequence called even or odd. That is comprehension. Sorry, you need to build another sequence. Okay, so comprehension means creating a sequence from another sequence. That's it. But here it is syntactically varies. Let's see how it is. I'm going to rewrite this code in a single line. This is odd number. This is even number in just a single line. Got it? Does it look simple? These actually a 6 line became a single line. Is it simple? I can say odd equal to even equal to. That's it. If I print both, you have an answer. You got an answer. Sorry. I need to change. So this is even. This is comprehension. Got it? So you have a sequence, you need to build another sequence. It's called comprehension. I'm just explaining a logic, that's it. I have not explained you the syntax. This is a logic, that's it. A sequence built from another sequence is called comprehension. Or you got the logic? What is comprehension? Seems
Yes, sir.
No.
no, you don't. Okay, so just assume I'm having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay,
Yes, that's the list which you have created.
yes. So here I need a square number of each and everything. I need to build. That is another sequence. I want another sequence. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to either, you all know you need to use a for loop, right? So you need to create some list to keep output. So far n in number, what do you have to say? Out dot append. I need a square. What do you need to say? What do you need to say? N into n. Correct? You will get. Okay. But this is not comprehension. Comprehension contains some certain syntax. Okay. So this is you wrote. So my question is, I need a square number of this list. Okay, you need to square. You need to apply square operation for each and every number was present inside a list. You need the result. But I'm going to implement it using comprehension. Anyways, you all know comprehension is constructing sequence from another sequence. So as per question, I need a sequence from existing sequence. Okay. Now I'm going to use a comprehension concept. So I for or anything, n for n in num. If I leave it as it is, this will print as it is, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I'm going to write a condition. N should be replaced with square number of it. That's it. You got an answer. So my 1, 2, 3, 4 line was replaced with one line. So comprehension is nothing but constructing a sequence from another sequence. So simply what is the syntax is writing for loop inside a data type syntax. That's it. So here I wrote my for loop inside list. So this is called list comprehension. And then if we write a for loop inside dictionary syntax, this is called dictionary comprehension. If we write a for loop inside a set, is called set comprehension. If we write a for loop inside close to bracket, is called generator. We won't call it as a tuple comprehension. We call it as a generator. We have a detailed explanation what is generator when we talk about functions. Okay, that is called generator comprehension. That's it. Okay, so writing a for loop inside a square bracket is called list comprehension. Inside a dictionary is called dictionary comprehension.
So it's only a for loop.
Yes. So comprehension is all about writing a for loop, a one-line for loop. It's about one-line for loop. Okay. So in Monday's session, we have talked about one-line if condition, right? So say for example, we need to create a variable called a, but depends upon a condition. If num, or I'm using this num. If num is there, okay. If num the length of num is 5. If the length of num is 10, then you need to create a with 10. But okay, delete a. So here my condition doesn't satisfy, so a was not created, right? When I say a, this will say name error. Got it? But we need a because in our next program has some program with the corresponding value. When I say a into 10, it will say name error. To avoid that, we need to create else as well. So say else a else a is equal to 5 kind of, And if we say A star 5, so A star 10, this will give you some results. Because A is 5. Either this satisfy, A will be created, otherwise this will be created, right? Anyway, this will create. Now we can keep this as a single line, one line if condition, that is A is equal to, the return value is 10. Return value is 10. A is a variable equal to a value is 10 when the value should repeat, when the condition satisfied. Otherwise, else. So we all know here else is mandatory. So this is one line if condition. This is one line if condition. Similarly, here we are going to write a one line for loop, that is for I in num. Okay, we know after colon we going to utilize I inside, right? But in this one line for loop, we are going to utilize that next line content in a same line, that is like this. And this should be inside some data type. That's it. Data type syntax. If I wrote like this is called list comprehension. Understand? So in case of dictionary, like D is equal to apple is 5. Just assume if you are in a supermarket, I'm actually the manager actually taking a stock, available stock. Okay, they want to sort out the out of stock or a less number of items. Okay, if count is less than 10, they supposed to list it out. So how to we can able to sort out using a comprehension. So then my condition is, if a fruit stock is less than 10, we need to find a fetch a list. I said in writing a follow-up inside data type is called corresponding complication. So if you want to write a dictionary complication, just say dictionary. Simple. I'm going to say I for I in D. So which complication it is? Let's say we're going to say correct answer. Which comprehension it is? What will I get?
Set.
It is
Set.
why it is set?
Already dictionaries, keys and values are there,
No.
and it will be
Where it is there?
in D.
When you iterate dictionary, what will you get it in I? What will you get it?
Key.
Keys alone, right? Keys
Keys.
alone. And the same syntax, we can use the same syntax for dictionary and set. But the difference is dictionary is a key value pad, key colon value, but set is a value, value, value. So now it is look like a value, 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 not a key value. Understand? So this will give you a mango, banana, pineapple, papaya, apple. So this is set comprehension, not a dictionary comprehension. If you want to keep a dictionary, just say colon and say something. Now it is dictionary. Understand? Now my question is, I want a fruit which count was less than 10. So what do you need to write? We need to include what we need to include. What we need to include to check something.
If
We need to include if condition, correct? So we have to say if at the end of your comprehension, just say if. Okay, if where we need to check. Key or a value?
Key.
Value.
Value. Okay, how to fetch a value? Each time you will get a key. I need a key as a result, but in a condition check, I need a value. I need a value. How to get a value?
D of 0,
D of
0.
how 0? D of I. I is a
I,
key, right?
yeah.
D of I. If D
Yeah.
of I less than 10, you will get fruits, banana, pineapple, apple. Got it? If you want to count as well, what do you have to say? I colon what? So this is example for set, and this is example for dictionary. So I colon, what do you have to say? Got it? Understand? Is it difficult to understand? So I will give you an exercise. First, create a dictionary like this. Okay. And first of all, just try without comprehension. Create a dictionary. I need a fruit with less than 10 quantity. This is my simple question. Yesterday I gave a problem for list, right? Preparing odd out of it, even out of it. So today I made that odd even into comprehension. Similarly, first try to sort out. I need a fruit which count is less than 10. Okay, then we will convert that code into comprehension. This is your exercise today. Got it? Got my question? So you have some set of fruits. So here I need a fruit less than 10. The fruit count is less than 10. I need a fruit which count was less than 10. The stock was less than 10. Understand my question? Have you got my question?
It
Yes,
is
bro.
there. Moidin, it is there, no? I for I in. It is there in the here only, no?
Which one?
The third one.
I for I in?
I for I in. Yeah, the below. I less than 10.
Okay.
Yeah, that is there. That is there, right? Above one.
Where? Where?
Above.
Where?
Yeah, this one.
Where there?
It is there, na, which is less than 10. So
No,
banana, pineapple,
I'm
apple.
asking, I've created as a comprehension. So you may not understand, right? So I'm giving a simple exercise. Yesterday I gave a list relevant exercise. Today I'm giving dictionary relevant exercise. I need a dictionary as an output. Yesterday I gave a list, right? Creating list from another list. Now I'm giving create a dictionary from another dictionary. So my question is, this is my primary dictionary. Okay, a fruit with its count. Here I need uh, another dictionary with a count with fruit count is less than 10 using for and if. So don't give me this comprehension again. We will talk about this tomorrow, but instead write a for loop and if condition and create a new dictionary. So you have to say output is equal to or one new dictionary. Okay, what you have to say, iterate this for using for loop, iterate this dictionary, and if fruit count is less than 10, append it. Or how to do, if it is list, we have to use append. For dictionary, what we have to do to keep it in a new dictionary? Try that. Okay, then we will convert that into comprehension. So then you have a clear picture of what is comprehension. Understand?
Yeah.
Okay, so I just I gave an introduction about comprehension. We'll discuss in detail tomorrow. Okay, so before that, please do this exercise. Create a dictionary, and then gives me results when the count was less than 10. That's it. We'll proceed with comprehension tomorrow. Got it? So any doubts today? Shivam,
No,
Piyush,
Clear.
Shivam, how about you?
Yeah, the comprehension, I will go through the documentation once more.
Okay. So we will revise it once again. But in meantime, take this dictionary and use a for loop and if condition to find to make another dictionary with a count is less than 10. So then we will do tomorrow we will replicate that block with comprehension, the block of code with comprehension. Okay, so we'll see in detail tomorrow. So this is an introduction about comprehension. We'll discuss in detail tomorrow. So we'll see tomorrow. Okay. Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.